try not to auto walk and get distracted, because you may end up in a whole lot of trouble when you don't realise you've auto walked over a hill into a wolf den. And yeah, RIP. Also be mindful of auto walking over things like trees and bridges and the like, because I've seen ever so slightly, just the ever so slightly death. And while it most definitely has been done, the one thing I absolutely do not recommend auto walking over is the trestle. If you want to see someone auto walk over the trestle, there's a great clip of Professor Neil's auto walking on an extremely established run, I think 300 plus days, and he managed to do it and it was beautiful. But I'm going to try and do it now, and I think it's going to fail miserably. But we're going to go left, and oh my god, okay, I stand corrected. But definitely do not recommend. Another surprising run ender is goading in the wrong place. The game has built-in death walls where places they really don't want you to goad. For example, if you want to goat down into Bleak Inlet from Ravine without putting down the rope and climbing, etc., you need to do it from this side of the bridge. So it's not a particularly hard goat. You stay as high as you can for as far as you can. I wish I had like a revolver I could point for you, but basically the middle of the screen where I'm looking at now, then you get to a snowbank of a steep hill and you run all the way down. But the quick and easy way to ruin your run really quickly and really unfortunately is to try and go down from the other side where the rope is. So it's been a really long time since I've tried to do this, but see how there's like all those little ridges and notches all the way down? This looks ultimately very goatable, and I would agree, it does look very goatable, but the game really doesn't want you to do it, and the game is going to kill you for trying, I'm afraid. So it's been a really long time since I've actually attempted, because there really is no attempt, but I'm just going to start going where it looks like a sensible way to potentially do it. And yeah, learn your goats. Another way goating can really ruin a good run is just by not taking it slow, not being careful enough. It's very tempting to just run down a steep cliff as I'm about to do, but if you don't watch yourself, then you're just going to end up with damage to your clothes, to your ankles, to your wrists, and take it off the health bar. Now I'm on Pilgrim for this example, but this is the hill that leads down to the river behind the dam, and honestly, if you just misjudge a little hill, actually this is very annoying. It's gone extremely smoothly, but honestly you could, I'm auto walking, you could honestly just misjudge what seems like the smallest of hills, like this one here, and there we go. We've got clothing damage, bruising, unnecessary silliness. Goats, in my opinion, you can take as long as you like. You should be crouching. You should be trying to get rid of your sprain risk meters as much as you possibly can, and just be very, very sensible. And as I said in the previous example, if you don't know the goat, use a throwaway run to try it out. Get Pilgrim, get Voyager. Get a run, spawn in the place that you're hoping to try, and just give it a couple of goes and just make sure you're comfortable with it. Don't wait until you're on a run that you really care about and you decide that you want to try and get down the hillside, because it can go sour pretty quickly, and yeah, you may not have the best condition to start with, and it might be just that little tumble, or your favorite gloves, you haven't had a chance to repair them, and then they're gone. And yeah, I'll give you another example of a goat where I'm not going to take very much attention, and frustratingly the game is not going to give a shit. Oh my god. Okay, apparently I've been too careful all this time, and you can just ignore me about goats altogether. Yep, I'm just going to bounce my way down here without any fear whatsoever. Oh, long dark.
Alright, Karu, I got you. See, that's how you do it. It's not hard. Whoops. Gotta go.
Okay, so I'm in DP. I've just left the Riken. Maybe I was over here at Little Island. I do this quite frequently. I'm over at the Little Island, I'm hunting, I'm doing something, and then all of a sudden, oh crap, it's a blizzard. I don't have anything to make a fire with, I need to get inside, right? We're gonna run at the lighthouse. Unless you know exactly where you are and exactly where you're going, don't do this. Go back to the Riken. This is how you lose your run. This is how you lose your run, because you know what will happen to me here. I'm either going to walk slightly too far left, fall through cracking ice, I'm going to run straight into the moose, or I am just going to be so deviated off course and I'm going to turn around and I'm going to try and figure out where I'm going, and it is going to go downhill real quick. So this is the rocks I think that the moose likes to hang out on. The blizzard is masking the sound. If the blizzard is a new blizzard, then nothing's despawned yet. There might still be wolves out. Okay, I've gotten lucky here and I've actually hit the rocks. But like, it's not hard to just go off course and suddenly like I hit this and I'm like, oh, this doesn't look right. And you start turning around and you go this way. Maybe I should go around the edge of it, because I don't think I'm in the right spot. And then you suddenly end up running into... and you just get yourself confused. Like, I'm experienced enough to kind of know where I am most of the time, and I can get up to the lighthouse from here. But I have had many an early run where I have ended up in the ocean, in a moose, in a wolf that hasn't despawned yet, in a mauling from a bear, and you get in real trouble. So you've got to choose your blizzard walking carefully. Blizzard walking can be used as such a tool. If you know exactly where you are, if you know that you can get there in a pretty straight shot and you're not going to get lost, use it. Wait till it's been going for a little bit, just in case, to make sure everything's despawned. Remember that the timbies and the moose do not disappear. And make your way there, and if you've got a weapon, have it out. Here's where I'm keeping all my stuff for this run. But yeah, like, do what you need to do, my friends. Another thing to keep in mind at all times. Are you stinky? Is your player sticky and you don't realize it? So obviously hitting the tab key will show you if you're stinky or not. But right now, I've got absolutely no stick line when I'm walking around naturally, and no stick line when I hit the tab button. But I am carrying animal fat. Animal fat is going to bring all the boys to the yard. Oh, we're fogging in. So I'm just going to go about my merry way. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm just getting myself more stinky. Okay, now I have one stink line. I'm just going to see if I find any friends. Well, there's a moosin. Okay. That's got nothing to do with this video. But, cool. Anyway, we were gonna try and find a friend. I just wanted to prove my point. Anyway. So what I was trying to say is, obviously with 2 guts on me, I have one stink line. If you hit your decoy button, hit it until it says no decoys in inventory. Get into the habit of doing it, because one animal fat is not going to show up on your screen at any point, even with tab pressed, and it's going to bring some friends your way. Of course, if you want to be stinky, this is a valid tactic that people use. They want to be stinky, so they make sure that they carry something when they're traveling around to attract friends. I thought I heard a big beast of a friend here. He's probably coming my way. But yeah, just use your make sure you're hitting your decoy button to make sure that you survive your next traveling opportunity, especially if it's foggy or blizzardy or you are unsure 100% of what is going to be in your way. Such as this guy. Oh boy. Still scares me. But hey, not a problem anymore. Be prepared. Another quite key way that you can kill your run is being encumbered all the time. It's really common, especially amongst those of us who are pretty much loot goblins on Pilgrim and Voyager, to basically just hang on to everything that you pick up, because you might need it at some point. And really, if you're playing Voyager or even Stalker, well, pretty much any difficulty really, but if you're playing a difficulty that has an abundant loot table, it has a medium loot or above, you really should be establishing bases or places that you leave your stuff in each map, because you are going to find more and more of each item that you are hoarding in the map that you next travel to. You don't really need to be keeping absolutely everything on your person, and particularly if you've got the rifle. In this case, I've got a bow, I've got a revolver, I've got a lot of bullets. These things are heavy, and while they keep you alive, you probably don't need to be carrying them all around at all times, and you need to make sure they're reloaded, and you also need to be very careful that you're not so encumbered that at this instance I'm also exhausted because I've been sprinting her, or I haven't been looking after her as well as I should, that right now if the bear that lives in this cave around here were to encounter me and I wasn't to give him a wide enough berth, or if he were to be walking around the end of the island here as I just walked around and encountered me and startled me, I can't sprint. I can't sprint right now. As you can see, the meter is completely red. I can't get away. So being encumbered means you're slower, means you're less likely to be able to get away, but also if you get into a wolf struggle, you, especially if you're exhausted as well, you are going to take more damage. You are going to be less successful in that wolf struggle. The bear is always going to be a problem anyway, but if I didn't have exhaustion right now, and if I didn't have way too much loot on me right now, I can easily run to this fishing hut, but right now I can't. And if he's starting his charge motion and he's coming for me, there's nothing that I can really do, and that is just going to end your run unnecessarily. It is going to cause you all sorts of grief. And another thing, definitely don't do this. This is a Voyager run. I was just getting a save before I logged off, and I thought, you know what, Voyager right here, end of Broken Railroad, and as you can tell by my gasp, I was not expecting to be woken up being mauled by a bear. This happens on obviously every difficulty except Pilgrim, and it can happen even when you think you're slightly outside of the bear's path. If he sees you, and even that 1 hour sleep completely messed up that run for sure. No. This one is a deliberate thing I did as part of a challenge that I was doing, or for an episode that I was recording, and yeah, that is me blatantly getting mauled because I didn't reload the flare gun. There's a clear indicator when your flare gun is loaded or not loaded. The little yellow flag sticks up, but otherwise just hit that reload button. Hit it over and over, guys. Doesn't matter if it makes that bonk noise, at least you'll know for sure you're not getting mauled. Another absolute must. This is probably the top thing that I will advise and that I will probably end this video with is stay warm. So I have just spawned an Ash Canyon on Antelope. I'm actually probably going to demonstrate the bad goat one here again, but yeah, she's about to fall down the cliff because I'm not doing this properly. There we go. The biggest thing that's going to keep you alive, that's going to kill you the absolute fastest, is your warmth meter. Watch it steadily deplete in my bottom left corner. You have, you know, a good, I don't know, so it's an hour in game, right, is 5 minutes in real life. So you really only have, you know, a few of her hours, a very small amount of time in real life to get inside somewhere, to get warm somewhere. So let's start the timer now. I've also got a wolf on my tail that's going to kill me quicker. But I highly recommend early game from Interloper when you're trying to survive is to outpath the wolves. If you have no stones, you have no matches, you have nothing, outpath the wolves. But that's another tips video. The cold is going to get me. The cold is going to get me, but that wolf might get me first. This recording session's going really well. It's going swell. But yeah, you need to get. I'm going to path up here and hope that I can outpath this wolf. But yeah, he might want that deer. But yeah, honestly, frostbite risk is going to get you super fast. Frostbite's going to be on your meter for the rest of the run, and just being absolutely freezing and thinking, she can tank it for a little bit is a totally valid way to play for a little while, but you've got to keep an eye on it, and you've got to keep topping that heat up, or you are going to die so fast. It is just not going to work out for you at all. And I'll just show you, look, I'm just going to pass time, and this is an hour out in the wild, and this is another one. We've got the frostbite now. That's how quickly things can stack up, and this run is going to be over so fast. If we get hypothermia, it becomes 40%, and we're going to be dead in less than 5 minutes in real life. Look at it go down, ever so slightly ticking down. It's going to do it so fast that I'm barely going to even get indoors before it resolves. I actually have gotten myself turned around. So actually, I don't think I will get indoors. There's the moose. Yeah, so we have actually gone off track here from where I thought I was. So yeah, we're going to die pretty rapidly here if you just watch that meter go. I'm probably not even going to get to the rope that I need to get out of here. Hypothermia is one of the absolute worst things you can do. Hypothermia you get from falling through the ice as well. The ice is a killer, guys. The ice is going to get you. And that is probably a joint point with this. The cold is your worst enemy, and the ice is going to make it impossible for you. I'm now trying to get out of the cold. I've been running, so I'm really tired, and now I found a rope that's going to save me. I've now got a blizzard. Everything's just going my way, and I have no sprint, so I now have to stand here by this rope to make sure I get my sprint back. I've made a series of very small choices, and they have all led me to this run being probably absolutely without saving. Because even if I get enough sprint back, look how exhausted she is with the hypothermia. Look at it go down. So you're losing your health so fast, and you're losing all of your energy, and this is just going to go so terribly badly. If you can't get up, if you can't get indoors in time, that's it. That's as far as I get. So this run has kind of written its own death for it. She's going to keep trying to climb up. She's going to keep pushing it. I've got yet another frostbite. Brain risk has kicked in because we're now exhausted. Look at how fast that meter is going down. And I can't believe it, but the game might let us get to the top. might let us get closer. She might die on the rope. And where heart beats, yeah. There's nowhere I can go. There's nothing I can do. I can go down. I've not died on a rope before. This is a first for me. We don't have a hope in hell of this working out. But what would you do? Would you go all the way down, or would you keep pushing up and let yourself die hanging on a rope? I know what I would do, but yeah, don't underestimate the cold. Don't underestimate hypothermia, and absolutely, yeah, you got to weigh up your cold and your sprint, because if you sprint too much and you can't get out of trouble. Good night, sweet Astrid. Everything's so pretty. Take me, cruel world. Wow, she's hanging on much longer than I thought. Another really important thing to remember that can be an absolute run ender. Heal your problems right after they occur. So I'm going to deliberately run at a wolf. It's a deer. I'm going to not run at the bear if I can help it, but I'm going to run at a wolf. So there were 3 wolves here before. We don't want a bear mauling, we want a wolf. We want a wolf tussle. There's one down here. There's 2 of them. Hey guys. This is Stalker, so one of them will come at me. Come at me, bro. Ah, what do I do? Right, pry bar, which isn't going to work that great in my favor. Okay. So not only am I very, very attractive to this wolf, I'm going to die. This isn't in the plan. This isn't in the plan. For me to die. Okay, we're gonna get up here. So not only am I not treating my affliction made me very attractive to the second wolf, obviously I'm now in trouble. And the key message that I want to have here, this is very funny, is I'm gonna fix these problems right away. Okay? I'm gonna do my infection. I'm gonna do my bite for the blood loss. But now, the point I'm trying to make here as well is I don't have any more bandages. And I only have... I can sort the infection out, but I cannot fix her wrist, and I cannot fix her bleeding. So now, I am going to constantly bleed. I'm going to get myself near death. The bear wants me, the wolves want me, and I'm in this situation. Oh, shit! I'm dead. But I'm in that situation, and I died there because I wasn't prepared. I obviously ran at a wolf, but if I hadn't had a second wolf there, and I would have been able to run away to somewhere safe. The wolf is now running away from the bear. That's very funny. I would have probably been able to get away and get myself healed up. I didn't have the things that I needed to look after myself. Also, because I can't fix that bleeding and I can't fix that infection, if I had maybe not taken quite so much damage, I would have been able to carry on for a little while, but I would have been desperately trying to make a bandage. I would have been trying to make sure I had antiseptic. If I'd only had Old Man's Beard, I would have been desperately trying to make that while I was actively dying. So you need to have the supplies on you. You need to be able to deal with these afflictions immediately so that you don't get dead unnecessarily fast or unnecessarily at all because you weren't ready. So always carry at least 4 bandages is my recommendation. Always carry 3 or 4 Old Man's Beard made dressings, or have the antiseptic on you, because otherwise your game can be over extremely rapidly. And I am here in Desolation Point in the dark, I have just come here and healed from a different part of this episode that I was recording. But one key thing I want to point out is if I was not anywhere near this trailer and I had just taken the attack that I did, which unfortunately I didn't record, I'm annoyed, I just had to re-record it, I would be dead because I didn't have a bedroll. I was sitting next to a fire, I was in a particularly good spot, I'd got coal into the fire, I'd healed myself, I had all the supplies like the bandages and the antiseptic that I was just talking about, so I was able to get her out of heartbeats, but then I couldn't sleep. I couldn't go inside anywhere and safely sleep and heal up because I'd left my bedroll. So absolutely crucial extra point I wanted to make is that you need to, when you leave a fire, make sure you've taken your pot and your skillet or your can and you've taken your bedroll with you from wherever you are so that you don't end up in the situation where you want to rest. There's no bed in this trailer. There is in this one, but you've got no bed in this trailer or no bed outside and you're now waiting till morning. You could be miles away from anything. You could be in a blizzard. You could be actively dying because you're exhausted. You could be in heartbeats and you've healed everything else except the exhaustion. Waiting around is just going to kill you. So you need to make sure you always have your bedroll. And the last point I'll make for this video today, which is not going to be popular with everybody, especially a certain couple of friends of mine. Well, they'll agree to an extent, but don't die with a stim in your pocket. So I obviously came here and healed up after the previous attack that I had from the wolf, and I've gone inside, and I should be sleeping there for the night, but I don't have a bedroll and there's no bed in the cave, so I am going to head back to safety. There is a wolf in my path, and I know that the bear is dead. I know I'm relatively safe, but if I was stumbling right now, and if I was within safety, but not sure 100% if I was going to make it, if I knew exactly where I was going, and if I know where I'm going, obviously I'm quite close here to the the trailer, and I also am not currently in the heartbeat mode, but if I was in heartbeats, I wasn't 100% sure I was going to make it somewhere, use the stim. Use the stim. Stims are obviously going to give you a health boost, but they're also going to get you where you need to go without getting tired, running past all the wolves, running past the danger, get you to a bed where you can rest and recover and live and keep your run going. If you die with 1 or 2 or 3 stims in your pocket, then sure, they were nice to collect, but what kind of regret would you have? And if you could live with the fact that, hey, sometimes it happens and you wouldn't really regret it that much because you don't automatically reach for a stim, then absolutely. But if you keep it in your mind that I've got a stim, I know I can be safe, I can get somewhere where I can find a bed, I can sleep for 9 hours, and I can wake up with the condition that I need to get somewhere safely and actually continue the run, then I think that is 100% the action that you should take. Another piece of advice I would give you, which isn't really 100% in the theme of this video, aka don't do this, it's more of a do. I highly recommend, if you are able to, wear headphones. This game is extremely well put together in terms of the audio. The sound design is incredibly good. Everything from there's 200 different walking sounds to the fact that you can hear most things coming up on you from a bit of a distance. The footsteps of the wolf become quite distinctive. The little bunny hops become even obvious to your ears. So I recommend tuning it up, wearing headphones, and that goes for PlayStation 2. When I played PlayStation 4, I quite often used to do it at night when my husband was also gaming not that far from me, and I would plug my headphones directly into my controller because that option is available, and get that really proper 360 sound that the game wants you to have. There's so many times that I am approaching a bear area or a moose zone or somewhere I think there might be wolves, and stopping and listening is going to help you a great deal, especially if you're not 100% sure if there's a wolf in your region. Listen for a distant wolf, stop, listen for to see if a closer wolf replies. Oh, here, perfect example. The sound of wolf footsteps and sounds that they make. They can't reach me, so they're just going to stroll around. And this is Stalker, so there's more of them than there normally would be. Oh, woo! It's choir practice. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got something useful out of it. Obviously, the veterans will know all of this stuff already, but I think it's worth repeating. And I also think that if you're newer to the game and you're not 100% sure why your runs keep dying, then hopefully this gives you some advice to keep going and living longer and longer on Great Bear and in the apocalypse. Take care, my friends. See you in the next one.
Snow if the hypothermia wouldn't kill me.
Okay, Esther.